Hi guys, for those of you who have been following me on my last couple of videos, you'll have seen this before. But if you've just come to my channel for the very first time, I'll leave some links below where you'll see this in other videos such as MH370, The Matrix Revealed, and Egypt Air 804, The Demonic Link. There is a scripture that woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who sees us? Who knows us? Surely your turning things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. And if we turn this upside down, we end up with a pyramid laid over the United States. And the points that join this pyramid are Ground Zero, Deepwater Horizon BP disaster, Aurora Century 16 Cinema Massacre, Oklahoma bombing, and the Sikh Temple Massacre. These atrocities, killings, disasters, there's more to them than meet the eye. And today we're going to have a look at a whole lot more with this same pyramid. Now, the Sikh temple has featured very strongly in the previous two, and today it will again. From the Sikh temple, we went south and we ended up at the search area for MH370. We went northeast from this point and we ended up at the crash site of MH17. But today we're going to go back in history just a little bit, back to 2012 and 13, where we'll tie together some more on this right through this point. But let's just have a look at pyramids first, because on previous videos I have shown you that we've looked at the Illuminati card game, and that's where we'll start today. Because the Illuminati card game is a game of conspiracy in order to take over the world. And you'll see on this facing card here, we have a pyramid with the all-seeing eye of Lucifer within it, and a hand of Lucifer coming out of that pyramid onto puppets. And I will attempt today to show you how we are the puppets and how our very thoughts and actions are being driven by this Luciferian conspiracy to take over the world. So let's just have a look at some of the cards. And I did a brief look through this card game to find how many pyramids I might be able to find. Although not spending a great deal of time on it, I did find a number, and you might be able to find more if you search yourself. So let's take a look at what we've got. Here is one, the Bavarian Illuminati. We've got the all-seeing eye in the pyramid, and you'll notice that that pyramid without the capstone looks very much the same as it is on the American dollar note. Conspiracy theorists, this word has become quite dirty, in fact, that people can be minimized if they come up with conspiracy theories. But let me remind you that conspiracy theories are tested every day in courts across the world. And if they are proven, they become conspiracy facts. So just because the people who can see the conspiracy aren't lawyers doesn't mean to say that they are loonies. Definitely not. We're going through here. This is big business. And we can see here the pyramid. Coming further, we see a pyramid in a convenience store. This may be Donald Trump. Enough is enough. And we're all having enough of this that's happening in the world right now. Finland, you're not going to escape this new world order simply because you live outside of the United States. This will follow us all around the world. Nobody will escape this. Here is one on a ketchup bottle. And once again on liquor. Isn't it amazing how many there are? Market manipulation in the stock market. Money on one side, the pyramid on the other. And look, Lucifer's all-seeing eye. In the media, and yes, we've even got one of these Illuminati cards showing a meteor strike in the shape of a pyramid. And if you haven't seen these Illuminati cards before, they predict well ahead sometimes things that may happen, such as 9/11, the BP oil spill, the cinema massacre in Aurora, and others, well ahead of time. There's something greater going on here. There's something deeper that you and I in the physical world are unable to grasp. But there is something more going on here. Oil companies, look at that. The derrick coming out here and it's spraying out in a pyramid shape across the world. Nutrition Nazis, pyramid shape again. This one is quite clever because the goal eventually is to reduce the population of the world. And the Illuminists and the elitists of the world openly say that they want to reduce the population of the world by in the order of 90%. So having a look at this card here, we've got this skull on top, and even though we've got a small pyramid here, the general shape coming up to the nose and back down makes a pyramid as well. I'm wanting you to know, because we're going through this, that the pyramid is very Luciferian, is very satanic, and there are those people who lead the world, the Illuminists, and those that are in secret societies love this god called Lucifer, and they look to this symbolism as a very high point for them. Registered trademarks, and even the Supreme Court. And just recently we've had a Supreme Court judge in the United States die in very, very unusual circumstances. This is you and I, the middle class, the lower class, and even the wealthy class, will be sucked dry of everything we have. And they're doing it right now through the manipulation of fiat currency. And once they've sucked us dry, they'll be casting us aside. Here is one for Switzerland, and we've got a small pyramid here with a Swiss army knife. But what we need to look here as well is this Swiss watch. The numbers are on 911. Think about that. Here is the corporate masters in his hands making the shape of a pyramid. Here's one with stars, when the stars are right and the pyramid pointing towards them. Tobacco companies with a pyramid and a skull on top. This pyramid means death, and I'll show you on the very next one. Here it is, World War III, and you've got, see the pyramid in the cloud, in the mushroom cloud there, with an all-seeing eye of Lucifer. This is what they've got planned for us, guys. These cards are used by the Illuminati and the elites running this world as a message board of what they will do. There is one with UFOs. We will be getting further into this today. We'll be showing you that UFOs and aliens, they may be real, but they aren't from far, far away. They're just in the next dimension, and elitists and illuminists are in contact with these guys. And I think we'll be able to show you that today. In my previous video, Demonic Link Egypt Air 804, I showed in that video this picture on the Sinai Peninsula, where I linked the demonic link between this flight, which is a Russian flight that was shot down on All Hallows Eve 2015, where this pyramid shape with the all-seeing eye of Lucifer and a skull within it is looking right over the crash site. I had no idea that this card even existed until yesterday. That is just plain amazing. And in that video where we went from this spot, the next place we went was to the Great Pyramid of Giza to find information that led direct to Egypt Air Flight 804. There is something much deeper going on here, and I am thankful that I've been given a gift to see some of it so I can pass it on to you. There is something going on, and there is someone being unmasked. Here is a man with small pyramids right side up and upside down, as above, so below, and he's being unmasked. But we'll look at the color also of his clothing to find out more about that. But on another one of my previous videos, I show this. This is over Nevada, and it shows a serpent with a mask, and its serpent is being unmasked. And this mask speaks words of the cross, but behind the mask is the serpent. And if we look at this one, the mask is coming off. The colors used here of purple are royal colors. Do I need to say any more? Especially when we have a card with Vatican City written and a pyramid on top of the Pope's head. Let's go back to where we started today and have a look at this upside down pyramid. And we'll take a look at how we can tie in this Sikh temple massacre again on our third video. And we'll do it by going to this place called Sandy Hook. And at the Sandy Hook Elementary School, back in 2012, we had a young man called Adam Lanza allegedly shoot 20 children at this school. And one thing I have noted through many of the massacres and killings, that the rebellion of Lucifer against God, with all of it, is to use people with biblical names for his nefarious purpose. And this case is no different. Adam, the first man. Let's look at Sandy Hook Elementary today, and we'll go back to 2012, but what it looked like back then. And that is the Sandy Hook Elementary School as it looked on the day of the alleged massacre. Adam Lanza came in through the front door here and began killing people in this area here. But one thing I like to look at is there's something nearby that we should look at. And this is a Masonic lodge, Hiram Masonic Lodge number 18. One of the first things we probably should do is have a look at the name Hiram and what it means. And it is a biblical name and also an American meaning. And here it is, exaltation of life and a destroyer. It's the American meaning as well. Exaltation of life and a destroyer. Satan in the Bible is known as the destroyer. Let's have a look at what we've got here, because there'll always be double meaning to everything. Exaltation of life and a destroyer. So we'll let you pick the most appropriate one today of what you think this means. Is it exaltation of life or is it a destroyer? We've got lodge number 18. What does 18 consist of but 3 sixes? 3 sixes are the number, the biblical number of the beast. Revelation 13:18. An interesting thing to have this so close. We'll take a measurement from this lodge and we'll measure across to the roof line of the school where the killing happened. And what do we come up with? 666 feet. I'll let you decide whether Hiram this time means exaltation of life or a destroyer. I believe that 3 people that featured in the news on the day of this massacre belonged to this lodge, the Hiram Masonic Lodge. Let's go now to another killing at another school on the opposite side of the country, Sparks Middle School in Nevada. And at this school, there was another killing, and it was done by a young lad called Jose, who shot his teacher called Michael. Jose is a Spanish name. It translates to Joseph in English. So there is 2 more biblical names. Look here at the number of the street that this school, Sparks Middle School, is situated on, is 18th Street. Once again, 3 sixes are 18. Let's take a look at where this line goes. And what do you know? Between those 2 schools, the line went through the Sikh temple, but not quite. You will see here that this is the temple here, but the line misses by just a little bit. And when I'm getting this stuff, that's too far away. That's not good enough. You have to find out more about it. So let's go across to Spark, and I'll put that line in again as a permanent one. Let's go across to Spark and have a look at what we can find there. We know the street right next to the school, this one right here, is 18th, so 3 sixes yet again. Let's have a look at what it would have looked like just a few years ago before the drought started. We'll go back to 2012 and we'll see our sports grounds far greener. What we can see there straight away is I looked at this and I saw an upside down cross. Can you see that? And I wondered where else in Spark or Reno in Nevada where any more upside down crosses. And what do you know, we've got here, due south, a big airport that looks just like an upside down cross. If we go in here, we get our measuring tool and we put it on an upside down cross, which we know is a symbol for the Antichrist. And I'll just follow this green line through here that I put in previously. straight down the runway, put that in yards, or simply just follow it down back to the school, and we find it lines up perfectly with another upside down cross. And if we put it on the same line here, we find out that it is 0.33 degrees. And if you don't know what the 33 means, it was at the 33-degree parallel in Mount Hermon, nearby to Damascus, between Syria and Israel, that Lucifer led the fallen angels to earth. In the book of Genesis, it says that the sons of God came down and saw that the daughters of men were fair, and took for them whoever they wished, which I guess means rape. But in the extra biblical text of the ancient book of Enoch, it gives us more information on that visitation and who the lead angel was. And that was Lucifer, who led those angels down. So the Luciferian organizations and secret societies, such as the Freemasons, love this number 33, and it appears everywhere, and you'll see it many times in my previous videos. And the Freemasons, such as Hiram Lodge in Sandy Hook, they climbed through 33 degrees to get to the top of their pyramid. And here we have gone from one upside down cross at the airport to another upside down cross, and found that it is exact 6,660 yards from one to the other. Where did the shooting happen? Well, it happened right here adjacent on the basketball court. So let's go back down here to our airport, and we'll draw another line between the airport and Sandy Hook School and see if we can't get the line to line up again at the Sikh temple. Let's take a look. And once again, we have a small miss. It is below the Sikh temple, just south of it. Before it was just north, and now it's just south. This is not close enough. When God speaks, it'll be exact. It was at this moment that I prayed. I asked the Lord, what am I looking for? And I was told in the Spirit to use biblical reference. So this road here, I decided to have a look at it and find out what its name was. And it is Mill Street. Does mills have anything to do in the Bible? And yes, what is a mill? That is a mill. In times before electricity and high mechanization, and certainly in some parts of the world they still do it like this, that they put the grain on here and turn it into flour by having this wheel roll over it and crush it. This is a mill, and there is a scripture, and that scripture is this: it would be better for them to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied around their neck than to cause one of these little ones to stumble. And that's in Luke 17:2. What's a millstone? Well, that is the millstone that is part of that. To corrupt children, whether it is the young man Hosea that has been corrupted into killing, therefore sinning greatly, or the spiritual entities that have corrupted this young man's thoughts to the point where he would commit murder. And the Lord himself says that it would be better for them to have a stone like this tied around their neck and thrown into the sea and drowned than cause one of those little ones to stumble. It's a pretty serious charge when you think about it. But at least now we have a reference to continue our search for what we're looking for. We'll go back now to Mill Street, knowing that it has biblical significance, and we'll simply type in 666 Mill Street, because we know that this is the number of the beast, and these are beastly things, wicked things, sinful things that are happening in the murder of innocents. Let's take a look where 666 Mill Street is. And here it is. We'll follow it back to the airport just to prove that there it is. And here it is. We'll follow it through to this point. And now we'll put another line from that point back across to Sandy Hook School on the opposite side of the country and see where that leads. We find it is exactly straight down the entranceway to the Sikh temple. It cannot get more exact. So now we have proven the Sikh temple one more time. Let's go back to the Sparks Middle School and we'll find out some more information. As it says in Isaiah 29:16, we'll turn it upside down and see what we can find. And by turning that upside down, we can see an E and we can see a T. E-T. Are you kidding me? We've been talking about aliens and demons and UFOs when we first started. Let's zoom out and see what we can find. Is there anything that looks like an ET? There it is, right there. I will color it in for you so you can see. Let's have a look. Can you see that? Let's give him a little bit of shading. An eye. Look at that, guys. They've even put the shape of the streets in exactly the same as an ET, little grey alien eye. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How about a mouth? Yeah, it's there, all right. Have you seen anything like that before? I certainly have. And here it is. That's a crop circle, guys. And we're looking at the same thing. Could we just be fooling ourselves? Could we just be making shapes there that are not really there? Well, how about we have another alien in the same spot as confirmation? There it is. Shall we draw in some eyes? And a mouth? There it is. Folks, this was the very first time back in 2012, 2013, where I recognized that our thoughts and our actions are not our own completely. This cannot be done. All different people were responsible for different parts of building this city. People who design and build airports are not the same ones that design public streets. Civil engineers who design suburbs aren't the same people who put in sports ground at elementary schools and middle schools. They aren't the same people halfway across the country that put in Sikh temples, or across the other side of the country that build elementary schools in Connecticut and have them all link up. There has to be something else going on here, something that directs the very thoughts and actions of people who design and make these things. This spiritual being is all around us and is in our very thoughts, hitchhiking within us. This is why you must kick it out. And you can kick it out by appealing to one and one only, and his name is Jesus Christ. As it is in Joshua 24:15, that you must choose the God this day who you will serve, because it's a little bit like one of those letters you get from the bank or your insurance agent that makes changes, and they let you know in the letter, and they say to you, if you do not wish this to be, then you must write to us. You must make affirmative action. If you do nothing, these letters normally state, then we will action this for you. And this will be the new reality as far as your loan goes. Now, I've just proven to you that your very actions and thoughts have been corrupted, whether you think that they have or not. What you're looking at proves. And if you do not wish it to be that way, then you have to do it just like the banks or the insurance companies say, and take affirmative action. Doing nothing and just being a nice person will not be enough. You have to invite Jesus Christ in, because he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody goes to the Father except through me. So if you think that one of the many religions that Satan has put here on earth for you to choose from will get you there, you are wrong. For all of the people involved in these many things across this country, from Sikh temples to schools to airports, would have come from every single possible religion, whether it be Hindus, Buddhists, Muslims, Baha'i, or others. They all would have been involved, yet this perfectly pulled together with these numbers. Friends, that is impossible without a dark spiritual realm being involved. And the Bible tells us so, that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principality, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is why, when we look at the number 33 as being the spot, the 33-degree parallel that Lucifer led the angels to earth to corrupt the human DNA, that the foot of that mountain, which is called Mount Hermon, that Peter confessed that Jesus as Christ. When Jesus asked him, "Who do they say I am?" he said, "Some says you're John the Baptist, some say Elijah, and others Jeremiah." But when Jesus asked, "Who do you say I am?" he says, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus said to Peter at that point, "On this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades or hell will not prevail against it." And Jesus was standing at a place called Caesarea Philippi, just at the foot of that mountain when he said it. And 6 days later, he took those men, Peter, James, and John, up a high mountain, which I guess the closest one was Mount Hermon, to that very spot that Lucifer led the fallen angels down to earth. And in Matthew 17, you will see and read about the transfiguration of Christ on that very spot, in the company of Moses and Elijah. There is no other book that I know of that will give the accurate information of who we are fighting against, like that book called the Bible. Receive Jesus Christ today, before it's too late. Let's go back and have a look at our crop circle. Are there any Illuminati card game that tells us about crop circles? Well, yes, there's one right there. How is the Illuminists going to take over? Well, we showed you that before. They're going to bleed us dry and cast us aside, like this one. And that is going to be done financially. With the fiat currency awash in the world, they'll cheapen our money till it's worthless, and you'll have spent all your life working for something that is valueless. And then they will come in with the answer for you. And here it is, the alien savior, the same one that the Vatican has been saying that they will baptize these little guys. Now, I want you to have a look at the flags on the sleeves here. United States, United Kingdom, Germany. Now, this Asian one could be China, and it could be Japan, or it could be anywhere across the Asian region. This is what we've got coming. And this nice little circle of green stuff has probably got something to do with the CERN Hadron Collider nearby to Geneva in Switzerland. And when Satan gets thrown down to earth, which may be on this pyramid-shaped meteor, he has but a short time according to the Bible. Time, times, and half a time is equal to 3.5 years, or 1260 days. That is called the Great Tribulation in the Scriptures. And if this is worrying to you, then you have probably not put Jesus Christ in your heart. Christians look upon this coming time with great expectation because our redemption grows near. Receive Jesus Christ today before it's too late. This is coming, and you need to be with Jesus Christ already. Accept him into your heart while there is still time. God bless you. See you next time.